welcome to the Super Adaptoid Analysis. I'm your host, Mr. MCU Man, and I'm here to talk to you guys about natural selection. Specifically, this episode takes inspiration from Amazing Spider-Man issue 6, in which he fought the Lizard. The way in which the episode transpires is a bit different, where Spider-Man pretty much is taking down thugs, which he does in the middle of the issue at an exhibit, in which the circumstances were relatively the same. But we transition from there to the Parker Lock, where Aunt May is having trouble affording bills, and we see that Peter's getting harassed at school, only for us to revisit with Curt Connors. Curt has just re-healed his arm, very much in the same way of Amazing Spider-Man issue 6, where his arm just grew back, almost, and we then see him transform into the Lizard after they had detected some sort of mammalian DNA kind of stuff going on in there, and the fight just ensues, and it's very Amazing Spider-Man issue 6, but there's certain aspects, especially the setting, in which it reminds me of Ultimate Spider-Man or Ultimate Marvel Team Up issue 10, where they pretty much take the entire fight out in the sewers, but this is a little bit different, as you could tell, because they're fighting in subways, which really does lend itself cinematically. It is possibly one of my favorite adaptations of the Lizard, only for us to see that, just like Amazing Spider-Man issue 6, we have Peter going to Gwen and Martha Connors, except that they had come up with the gene cleanser, is what they're calling a cure here. Where in the 60s, it was kind of just a cure, just to get rid of Curt Connors' ailment. And we kind of transition to Brock, Spider-Man, and Billy Connors converging on, the zoo. And Spider-Man's fighting alligators very much like Amazing Spider-Man issue 6 again, where, again, he was beating up alligators and he was fighting the Lizard in the middle of California, though. That's the only real difference with this. California was where this all transpired in issue 6. We see a lot of aspects of the original story poking through, but with a really good twist that Wiseman and co. just knock out of the park, in my opinion. Anyway, continuing off of that, after Brock, Spider-Man, and Billy kind of managed to find a way to combat the Lizard, Spider-Man has a really quick thinking moment, and he has to also end up saving Billy in this sort of situation. This fight is one of those fights that really does take a lot out of Spider-Man physically. It brought him to a certain level that he didn't really think he could achieve, and this is where he had to outthink and pretty much out-brutalize the Lizard. This is one of his most physical, daunting foes, and it's been like that for a number of years. I would say over 40 years. But I digress, where we see Spider-Man take a skateboard and put the Lizard on his back and pours the gene cleanser down his throat, only for us to find out later that Peter was actually taking pictures of the Lizard, and it causes him the distrust of his friends. He's jaded, he's upset, he's hurt, and it's not like how it went in the comic, where Peter actually just got home, he forgot a date with Liz, and things happened. This is a bit more of an adult, no, I wouldn't even say adult aspect of Spider-Man. This is just in everybody can relate to this. And that's what makes this show so great, and that's what makes Spider-Man such a great character, because this is what Spider-Man is. I have to thank you guys for tuning in. I'm super sorry that this episode is a short one, and I greatly appreciate you watching. Thank you so very much. More Super Adaptoid analysis is coming, and I greatly thank you.